Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am out basically at first light, and I'm gonna be doing something that I haven't done much at all on the channel, if at all, and that's to be throwing some NLBN lures. Now these are something that is really popular over the last like 4 or 5 years, and it's taken social media by storm. A lot of people are catching fish. I'll be honest, the few times I've used them, I've never caught anything. So this is me really trying to get off the snide a little bit here and, and catch some fish and hopefully make a good video. But yeah, I'm gonna be throwing the mini mullet on a 3000 pen battle, and I'm gonna be throwing the little mullet on a 4000 pen battle. See if I can get a big snook, some tarpon, redfish, anything. It is an absolutely beautiful day. You can see behind me, awesome day, and I'm excited to fish. I'm excited for you guys to come along. Let's see what we can catch. There's so much activity right now. Birds and everything else. There's birds everywhere, just flying around, looking for food. Really hoping that, you know, these fish are fired up too. All right, so I'm just gonna rig this on one of these BKK hooks. This is the mini mullet. Wow, it's been a while since I've rigged one of these. So they have the twist lock. So I just want to put that kind of right in the middle of that nose. Hold it. I let it just kind of dangle. Work it in there. I want to pull it. I love these BKK. I think they're called Titan Riders. So they've got these little gel balls here. That is going to look really cool. That should work. I mean, that looks. It looks like it'll work. Let me rig up this other one too. So I think this is a 3 and a 5. All right, so I've seen some rolling tarpon coming out here. Most of those were in the canals. But now, we got to find the fish. All right, so I'm gonna get up to these mangroves and just throw it around. Yeah, I see some, I think they're rolling tarpon. But I think everything's kind of in play today. I think definitely a tarpon's gonna smash this, definitely a snook. You know, it's probably not my first choice for redfish, but why not? I use a jerk shed for redfish all the time. This is basically what this is. So, should work. But I think I'm just gonna work kind of around these outer islands, maybe push back a little bit, and just kind of try to find the fish. All right, so we're gonna get some opportunities at some little tarpon today. I wanna see how this does. As far as 1, getting the strike, 2, holding the fish. I mean, I think anytime you're working with weedless baits, you know, you're gonna sacrifice a little bit of the hook set. So we're gonna see how much of that we're gonna actually sacrifice. But the BKK hook, it has a huge gap in the hook, so I think it'll be pretty good. I'm hoping it'll be pretty good. Just so you guys know, kind of aware of the situation, or current conditions, I guess, rather. We've got a good outgoing tide, and I think that's gonna be fueled by a lot of rain yesterday. So a lot of water is gonna be flushing out of here from the canals and different creeks and rivers and everything that's feeding into this. So there should be a pretty good flush of water. And it's going to be freshwater, which is going to do a few things. You know, it's going to push a lot of saltwater fish out of these creeks. It's also going to flush a lot of kind of the more freshwater bait out here. So there should be lots of feeding opportunities for these fish. I'm hoping it gets them fired up. Oh, well, that was a little tarpon, I think. So hook sets, and that could be me. I don't want just, I don't know if you saw that flash. He followed it all the way up to the boat. Wowzers. Well, the tarpon are fired up, but man. Oh. God dang it. So, getting flashed on quite a bit, but man, they're kind of just short striking it, or like I've had several swipes and haven't felt a fish. All right, so just as an experiment, I'm going to go with the little mullet. This is the mini mullet. I've had 4 swipes or 5 swipes, something like that. Let's go with the little mullet, which, I don't know, it's like 5 inches, maybe 4.5 inches. It's a decent sized bait. Should allow me to cast it. It's gonna be a little bit, well, we're gonna see. Well, it definitely casts better. Jeez, Pete, lands like a ton of bricks. That was my fault. I don't want to blame. But let's see, maybe, you never know. They might be keying in on something much, much smaller than the mini mullet, or maybe they're keying on something that's a little bit bigger. So I just want to try some different things. But I think either of these baits is a good way to get a big snook. I mean, these, with tarpon, I think most people will go small. Or with little tarpon, with these little tarpon, I think most people would say go small. But I do think there's times when they're feeding on big stuff. Like a little tarpon is still a decent sized fish. They will eat some bigger stuff. Oh, something had to be. Oh, that's not a tarpon. What is that? A little trout or something. I've been finding a lot of very small trout in and amongst these tarpon, and it surprises me because, you know, the tarpon, they're not big, but I still think they're big enough to eat 12-inch trout, 15-inch trout, even a 15-inch trout. There's some 30-40 pounders in here for sure. Everyone, if I'm using this in a very different way than you, and you have a lot of success with this, please let me know what I'm doing wrong in the comments, because I would love to go out and throw this and catch big snook like it seems like everyone else does. But I haven't been able to do that. And my biggest knock towards the NLBN lures is I feel like they just get beat up way too easy. They're not very durable. And if you're using lures that aren't very durable, and for me have not caught fish, then I just don't use them very often. And that's why I don't. I have a box full of them and I don't use them because I'm just like, they're gonna get beat up. I'm gonna, you know, end up stop using them because they're not catching any fish and all these things. But if I can catch some fish on it, I don't mind it getting beat up so quickly. So yeah, let me know, you know, if you guys catch a lot of big fish, let me know in the comments what you've caught on this, what's your best fish on this, and what I'm doing wrong, because I feel like, you know, everybody else is catching fish on these other than me. So that's a problem. Oh, man, that wasn't very big fish, but at least I felt that one a little bit. He hit the side of it. I do like the action. I feel like they look like a finger mullet that's been chased or something and frantically trying to get away. I could see a giant snook hitting this. I could see a tarpon hitting this. I've seen tarpon hitting this. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just not getting them. All right, switching back to the mini mullet. I see some tarpon rolling on this mud flat. I'm going to continue switching back and forth between the little mullet and the mini mullet, unless one is just having a lot more success. Man, you got fish rolling everywhere. That doesn't mean they're biting, doesn't mean they're feeding. Had a couple fish come up and flash this, but I see a ton. I mean, there's a good amount of small tarpon rolling on this flat. Ah, dang, they're just rolling. I see them breaking the surface everywhere up here, but I do feel like they're feeding around this point. I've heard a couple, what I would call more aggressive splashes. Is that what I'm gonna call it? That's my really cool lingo for it. Aggressive splashes. Come on, blow up on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still scanning over here, most over there. 6, 7. Doesn't mean those are all different fish, but I'd say there's at least 4 fish right there. Probably 40. I always feel like there's a rule of 10. There's 10 times more fish than you actually see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on, hit it, hit it, hit it. What is it? Oh, at least some sort of interest in my lure. Something's on it. Oh, I don't. Ooh, it's a little trout, I think. It wasn't a gar pop. I don't think. It was a little trout. Oh, well, shoot. I think that was a little trout. I was hoping this was, well, what that was, I don't know what that was. I'll have to look at the tape. Bluefish? Tiny, tiny bluefish, maybe? Ooh, tiny, tiny bluefish. Could be. That could be exactly what it is. They're little bluefish. I have come across those in the canals mixed in with little tarpon. I think that's what that was. Oh, that was a better pop. Slightly better. That's my first pop on the little mullet. I think so far all the activities come on the mini. Oh, that's a snook. I think. Yeah, that's a snook. Oh, that's a decent snook. That's a better snook. All right, now I'm trying to think of what pound test I have on this thing. All right, just trying to keep a little bit of tension. This is a better fish. I don't know if it's huge. I don't know. That's not a bad fish. Oh, it's getting bigger. Is it? I'm trying to think. I haven't seen where it's hooked yet. I don't think it's hooked deep, so I think it shouldn't be fraying too much. It's a nice fish. Oh yeah, I'm hooked. I don't think I'm hooked well, but I'm hooked in a good spot, let's just say. Oh no, I'm hooked all right. Pop that out real quick. Alrighty. That is a pretty good fish. I'm happy with her. She's probably the biggest snook I've caught in a while. Let me get her released. Get her going. Thank you, girl. She hasn't been out of the water too long, so she's be ready to go. Heck yeah. All right, that's not a bad fish. Be honest, that's probably, you know, one of the better snook I've caught in a while, and I'm glad to catch a nice snook. I was throwing the little mullet, so I stepped it up the last few casts, and it paid off with that snook. So I might stick with that for a while. Maybe I can get another big snook. Maybe I can get some more, or maybe I could get one of these little tarpon to actually hit and take the hook. So nice snook on the boat. Let's see what else we can get. So this is a bit of a good test because I've always questioned the durability of these. So this will be, you know, basically see if I can catch more than one fish on a single little mullet. Now I do have mended. I have used it. On the few times that I have used these, they've gotten damaged. I've gone home, I've applied mended, I've let it sit for a couple days, I've gone back out and used it. And it's like one cast, you know, especially if you're like skipping this, it just tears it back up. So now the important thing for me on these lures, you know, if they're gonna get beat up, they need to catch fish. That was the first good snook I've caught, and that snook was probably, you know, 27 inches kind of thing. 27, 28. It was a nice fish, and the nicest fish I've caught on these. So, you know, I'm happy. If I can catch that kind of fish on each one of these, I'd be pretty happy. Yeah, I'd love to get into the 30s and 40s, you know, and find a way, you know, figure out a way to catch those on these. Maybe I will one day. But like, as long as I can catch fish on these lures, I'm reasonably happy. Problem I have is when I don't catch anything and I go through a lot of these lures, they're like $9, $10. They're like $10 a pack of 3. You know, and the rigging hooks are like $5 for 3 or 4. So, you know, it's expensive to use these lures. So they need to catch fish. Oh man. What happened there? What happened there? Do I have a fish? I got scared every needlefish in town. This is what I was a little bit worried about. This is what I was worried about. I'm going to try it one more time. Then I think I'll have to just switch. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Oh, now I don't want to leave. That was, I think that was a big snook. See if I can get him again. Buzz it over his head, just get that reaction strike if he's still there. Dang. That's a better fish. That was a pretty decent fish. It's amazing on snook, you know. You're talking about good fish, 26, 27 inches. You haven't even made the bottom of the slot yet. If you were trying to keep one. It's all relative, I guess. So many of the snook you catch are 15 to 20 inches. That those kind of mid-20s snook, that's a nice fish. And it is a nice fish. It's hard to get trophies for a lot of people. You know, trophy snook is 40 inches. That's a hard fish to catch. But there's big ones back here. Oh, that was a tarpon. All right, the little Little mullet's starting to pay off. It's getting those more aggressive strikes than the mini mullet did. Ooh, something just swung at it again. Oh, it's a little tarpon, little tarpon. Get it by the boat, get it by the boat. Ay. Come on. This might end up being a day of almosts. Alrighty guys, well that's it for the video. The tide is actually pushing me out of here. It's getting real shallow, so if I don't get out, I probably won't get out for a while. Alrighty, yeah, so that was kind of my first real kind of full experience fishing the NLBNs. And I don't know, the jury's still out for me. I need to land more than one fish to really have a lot of confidence in that lure. So, but I'll probably be back on the water in a couple days trying to make another video. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications so you're notified when that new content comes out. I do hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. And I hope you enjoy your next time out on the water. I'll see you later.